Hello, my name is Tomisha Frederick, and I would like to take you on a special trip through my physical, cognitive, and psychosocial development over the years. I was born on March 4th, 1994 at 7:30 a.m. in Valley, Alabama. At birth, I weighed 6.9 pounds and was 20 inches long. I was in good health from birth and kept an average schedule of development from early on. I was born to the parents of Ataka Avery and Tommy Frederick Jr., their first child. My mother's pregnancy was not planned. It was a big surprise to both sides of the family. However, even though I was not planned, I was loved from the time I entered the world. I was the only child for 17 years until my father had my baby brother in 2011. I would say I was mostly in classical conditioning. I was a fairly easy child. I adapted easily to new situations. My granny contributed to the development of my sense of basic trust. I had a secure attachment with both my parents and my granny. While in preschool, I had the choice of my grandmother or grandfather to drop me off each morning for school. I would always pick my granny because she would always let me have my way. Once my granny and I got in the car, I would tell her that if she did not stop me by the store to get me donuts, then I would not get out the car at school and I was going to scream when I got there. This showed my egocentric self according to Piaget. My grandmother told me that I frequently talked to myself while I would take baths at this age. This will be an example of private speech. In my early childhood, I was very short compared to other people my age. At this age, I had good eating habits. Early on in my life, my parents and granny was able to tell that I would not be a morning person. It was a struggle getting me out of bed each morning for preschool. Consistent with the textbook, I got the average amount of 11 hours of sleep that most children need. However, I still had problems waking up each morning. I had a great self-esteem growing up. Even though my cognitive skills were low, my self-worth was high. I remember playing with doll heads with my cousin Star. This would be considered parallel play. We both had our own doll heads, would do different hairstyles, and we did not try to influence each other. Losing my teeth was a very difficult time for me. I would only let my granny pull out my teeth. This goes back to Erickson's trust versus mistrust. I trusted that my granny would not hurt me and that she would be as careful as she could. My overall health at this age was fairly good. However, in 2005, I found out that I had arthritis in my right knee. This would not stop my active ways as I always took my medicine with no problem. Development and schooling was a slow process for me. However, I made it through by the grace of God. I have never had to repeat a grade. As I enter into the formal reasoning stage, I develop a better understanding of equality. I believe that the delay of my learning development may have been caused by my selective attention. During my middle childhood, I struggled with reading. In my opinion, it was mostly because I had trouble spelling. If you don't know what a word is, then it makes it harder for you to read them. I grew up very active in church. I showed a great deal of self-discipline that I did not have in my earlier years. My parents did not live in the same house, so I spent time with both my parents. However, I mostly stayed with my mother. My mother lived with my granny, so I also lived with my grandmother. 86% of the time I spent with my grandmother, being my primary caregiver because my mother worked second shift. Moving on to adolescence, I was a late bloomer as some would call it. I was behind going through the puberty stage. I began to be more active in my adolescent years. Once I was going through puberty, my height did not increase much. I was always very short and small for my age. In my later adolescent years, I gained some weight, but most of it all went to my stomach, and a little bit of it went to my breast. Schoolwork became easier in my adolescent years. In my opinion, it was due to the fact that I moved from knowing how to do something and started learning why things happen the way they do. This formal operation thinking helped me to develop a new way of thinking. My high achievements would play a huge role in my cognitive development. By this age, most of my learning was based on personal motivation. I knew that I had goals and that I was the only one that would make these dreams come true. In 11th grade, I started taking teacher education classes. Teaching has been a passion of mine ever since. In 12th grade, we started to go to the local elementary schools to help out and get some field experience. My assigned teacher was out one day, and the principal asked if I wanted to go to special education class if I did not mind, which I didn't. At this very moment, I knew special education was something I would be great at, so that's how I became a special education major. From the different identity categories, I would mostly say I fit into identity achievement status. My mother was an authoritative parent who was very high on control, so I did not become a juvenile delinquent, probably because I was afraid of her. Merging into young adulthood, me and my mother developed a better relationship than the one we had while I was younger. At 17, I started taking birth control to help prevent pregnancy at a young age. All my mistakes, achievement, and strict parenting from my mother, financial support from my father, and the loving understanding from my granny helped me become the wonderful young lady I am today. The reference I use for this prezi is A Child's World 13th edition McGraw-Hill Education print, and I got the pictures and stories from my granny Priscilla Avery of Valley, Alabama. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed.